let's understand what is course of action. Now, in this presentation or in this recording, we are going to understand what is course of action and what kind of questions are asked, why it is there, what is going to be gauged by these kind of questions by the examiner, and for how many marks it is going to be asked in any exam, and why the examiner asks you this question. What is the reason and purpose behind it? Before we understand to answer these kind of questions, a student must know and try to find the answers of these questions to get the complete conceptual clearance. So without further ado, let's get started. What is it? Well, in this type of question, the ability of understanding a situation and finding the best possible solution from the options available is being judged. Now, guys, as a manager, you are supposed to take many decisions in life, and of course, in a given situation, whether you are working for an organization or whether you're working in a startup, or maybe you are a businessman yourself or an entrepreneur, so you have to take course of action. Now, of course, your course of action should be and must be on the given situation and conditions. Now, this question gates that, not just that, but also your understanding skills. Now, guys, let's understand what all is being gauged in this kind of question. As I mentioned here, comprehension at the top. Yes, you need to understand the situation. You need to understand what is mentioned. Comprehension is nothing but understanding. A sentence of two, three lines, or maybe a paragraph is given. You read it, you understand it, and then you logically think about the situation. Yes, why I said logical, because your personal emotions, your biasness towards any situation must not come into the picture, or else you'll end up selecting the wrong answer. Understanding of the possible options. Now, guys, of course, it is important and of utmost importance that you understand the given situation, but it is also equally important to understand the options, how you're supposed to select the right answer if you didn't understand the answers or the options. So as a student, not just you have to pay attention onto the facts that you understand by reading what the lines or paragraph are talking about. You need to think logically about it, and you also have to understand the possible options. Make sure that you always stick in the parameter of the question or the information given by the question. Do not assume. Do not think about the conditions. If you do that, your answer is going to be wrong. So let's proceed further with the understanding or the introduction of this kind of question. Now, what is the importance in terms of marks? Now, of course, we want to understand questions, but the most important thing in a student's head is for how many marks this question is going to be asked. Now, I want to tell you that this type of question is asked in verbal reasoning in almost all the exams, whether CET, CMAT, MAT, ATMA, any other examination. In fact, there are examinations, those are reputed and known for verbal section. Verbal is nothing but English section, and like ZAT examination. In ZAT examination, you got a very important topic or a subject that is known as decision making. Now, these kind of questions could be, and in fact, it is the building block. So, these kind of questions are going to give you basic understanding about the most challenging questions in examinations like ZAT or NMAT. These questions are also asked in bank comparative examination. In fact, in UPSC, MPSC, also these kind of questions are asked, and also in law exams. Approximately 2 to 5 questions could be asked for sure in these examinations. Now, in further recordings guide, we'll be talking about how to answer these questions, about the approach, do's and don'ts, not just by talking about what needs to be done, but also applying that information by solving the questions, so that not just the concepts but also the application takes place, or you get to know how to apply that concept. So please go to the next recording after this and make sure that you always understand and listen to the introduction part. Without understanding what the question is, what is gauged in the question, it is going to making no sense to you to go to further parts. So thank you guys for listening to this recording. In the next one, or then the second part, we'll be solving questions with the conceptual clearance. Thank you guys.